Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be getting glammed. I have a new eyeshadow palette to show you from Adept Cosmetics. This right here is the Seahorse palette and we are going to be doing swatches of the whole thing, and I'm going to be using it in an eye look today. I'm also going to be trying the new LYS mascara, the Lash Confidence mascara, which I'm very excited about. And then I have some Merit beauty products I've never tried before that I'm interested in trying. These are not necessarily new, but they are new to me. The Great Skin Instant Glow Serum, and this one I've been dying to try, the bronzer stick from Merit. So these are the brand new products I'll be talking about while I get glammed in today's video. And of course I'm going to be combining these with other new products that I have been trying, or some all-time favorites and whatnot. If you're excited for today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. First things first, let me show you the new Adept Cosmetics Seahorse palette. Just take a look right here at the incredible pastel packaging. This palette has a couple of things that are special about it, especially in comparison to the other Adept Cosmetics palettes I've tried in my collection. First of all, it's a bigger palette. This is going to retail for $140, and the other thing is that it is all shimmer shades. There isn't matte shades in here, and as you can see, majority of these shades are pastel. So take a look right here at what the shades look like. If you're interested in this palette comes out Friday, May 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have an Adept Cosmetics discount code that you can use to save 10% if you are going for this one or anything else on their website, and that code is PATTY10. So let's go ahead and swatch this palette and see whether or not it is worth it, because it is definitely a pretty penny. I went ahead and lowered the light to show you the swatches of this one, because since it's all shimmery, glittery, light pastel type shades, I feel like with the light down we'll be able to see the shifts in color a bit better. And I'm going to start my swatches from the shade Courtship on, like that. So here are Courtship, Big Belly, Tiger Tail, and Giraffe. Courtship, Big Belly, Tiger Tail, and Giraffe. I just love how shiny Adept's shimmers are. Take a look right there at the first four. I can already tell you that me putting my hand right here in front of the lights does this no justice. So I'm going to give you another shot with my phone once I fully swatch everything, so you can see what it looks like in a different lighting, because the light being straight in front of it is giving you a very like one-sided vision, and it's not showing you the shifts that these eyeshadows have. Next we have Low Crown, Yaya Cars, I think, Fig Me, Thorny, and the one in the center of the palette, which is called Tiro. Moving on to False Eye, Narrow Bellied, which is such a pretty green, Long Snout, and Paradoxical. And then the last three shades, which are Cindo, Punto, ooh, that is such a pretty metallic, and Soft Coral, which I think is going to be beautiful, and it is. Wow. So take a look right here at every single shade from the Seahorse palette swatched, and I'm going to show you these swatches in a different lighting as well, so you can see it maybe a bit more shifty. See, take a look right here at what it looks like with the light hitting it in a different angle. You can see the shifts of all of these lighter shades much better than you can when I put the shades right in front of the camera. If you loved light color glittery shades with fun shifts to them, I feel like you're really going to love this one. Now keep in mind, this is a palette that is all shimmer, so you will have to combine these, or at least I'll have to combine these with other shades to create some fun eyeshadow looks, but I love it. Anyways, I can't wait to try it. I love putting super light shimmery shades like these in the center of my eyelid, and so when we create an eyeshadow look today, that might just be precisely what we do. My eyebrows are already done, and I'm going to use my Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer on my eyes today, spreading it out with my REPHR number 36 brush. I want to go for a very soft eyeshadow look today, and for my matte shadows, I'm going to be using Odin's Eye. So I have a REPHR number 27 brush right here, and I want to put Elation with the white shade on my crease. So a combination of these two, because I want a lighter version of the shade Elation to be my transition color. So just combining the two, and we are blending that mixture on the crease of my eye to create a really perfect and soft transition shade. And the same thing over on this side, of course. To deepen things up a bit with my REPHR number 1, I'm grabbing the color Heaven here, and I'm going to add it to the outer corner of my eye, blending it into my crease shade. With back and forth little motions, blend, blend, blend. And the same thing on the inner third of my eyelid here. Okay, so now that I have those matte shades down, I'm going to clean the outer edge here of my eye look just a bit. And I think that for the center of my eyelid, I want the shade Giraffe. This is one of the shades that is a bit of a chunkier type shade. I think Courtship might be another one, by the way, which I didn't mention before. Anyways, take a look at that. I'm going to add it right here to the center of my eyelid. I think that looks beautiful. Just tapping it in place with my finger, and back with my REPHR number 1, and whatever's left of the matte shade, I'm running it through the inner and outer edge. I got a bit of fallout underneath the eyes, so do your eyes first would be my recommendation. And let me just do Giraffe over on this side. With the REPHR number 28, I'm going to grab the shade Big Belly, which is a bit more blue, and I'm going to add it to the inner corner here. Same thing over on this side. And take a look right there at what the eyes look like. Cleaning the shimmer fallout. I'll finish up my eye look after I do my complexion, but I love how soft and shiny this is. For my complexion, I'm going to use this Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I've never used this before. It says shake well, massage 2 to 3 pumps onto skin before or after moisturizer in the morning or twice a day. Definitely after moisturizer for me today. So I'm shaking it well. I did 3 pumps and I'm just putting it all over the face. It doesn't smell like anything, and it's giving my skin a lot of glow for sure. It says this instantly hydrates and plumps skin for a smooth glass-like appearance, leaving skin calmer, brighter, and more even over time, designed as a base for the minimalist or for the bare skin. I'm not sure how it calmed my skin, but I definitely have a lot of glow to work with now. I'm going to use my Valentino foundation in the shade LN4, and I'm spreading it out with my BK Beauty 101 brush. I'm actually kind of glad I used that Merit serum thing as a primer underneath my foundation, because my skin is super dry. I went to the beach last weekend and that was very fun, but it definitely dried out my skin. I feel like I need to exfoliate. Like, my skin doesn't feel super smooth the way it usually feels. So it'll probably take me a few days to go back to what my skin was looking like before I went to the beach. But that's okay, I had a lot of fun. It was just me and my husband. We had a good time. The beach we went to, by the way, was Pensacola Beach in Florida, and I've never been to a prettier beach here in the US. I have always compared the beaches here to when I went to the beach in Cuba growing up, and I gotta say, Cuba wins. Beach-wise, Cuba wins, right? So I've been a bit snobby about my beaches for a while now, but that beach we went to last weekend totally changed the way I looked at it, because the water was crystal clear and the sand was fully white. Just like the best beach I've ever been to in the US. I loved it. It was amazing. I'm going to use a bit of color corrector underneath my eyes. This one is my Charlotte one in the shade medium, and I'm applying it with my REPHR number 36 brush. And I'll be using my Very Valentino concealer on top, because even though I really didn't like this one at first, it's become a favorite of mine. As of lately, I can't stop using it. Blending it out with a sponge. And did you guys see that Givenchy launched the Prisme Libre powder in mini sizes? They have 03 in a mini size now, which is the shade that I use and love. You guys know this has become my favorite powder ever since I tried it. So it's great that they have a smaller size now. In case you don't want to fully commit to getting a big one of these, you can start with a smaller size instead and then fall in love, you know? So I'm going to link the smaller size down below in the description box in case you guys are interested, because this powder is incredible and I highly recommend it. Using my Wayne No. 3 brush to apply the powder, and I'm not putting it all over my face, I'm putting it in the center of my face. We're looking very smooth and it is time to try this Merit's bronzer stick. This might just be the product from Merit Beauty that I've heard the best reviews on, so I have high hopes for it. Let's go ahead and open it. I have the shade Clay with me. It looks so beautiful and so sleek, brand new. Let me just add it to my bronzer areas. From the looks of it, it's very natural and it has a neutral undertone to it, so definitely not warm but also not cool tone, so it's not going to sculpt much. I'm using my IT Cosmetics Love is the Foundation brush to blend it in place, and this bronzer has a glowy finish to it. To blend it, I'm just kind of stamping it in place and distributing it like that, and on my forehead I'm just going to push it into my hairline a bit. Okay, first impressions, I like the Merit Beauty bronzer. It definitely gives a bit of color. It is easy to use. It blends out extremely easily. I even like the glowy finish of it, and I think that the undertone is great because it gives the face a little bit of color without it being orange or anything like that. And to a certain extent, I think it might even be a little bit sculpting. I'm not mad at it, I like it. I wish it had more of a natural finish rather than glowy, but that is just my personal preference when it comes to bronzer products in general. For blush, I want something that'll match my eyeshadow look, so it needs to be cool toned. And so I'm going to go for the Gucci blush in the shade Silky Rose. And with a REPHR No. 5 brush, I'm just going to blend it into my cheeks. Let's finish up the eyes back with this Oden's Eye palette, which by the way, these are available now and you can also save 10% off of the Oden's Eye website with my code PATTY10. I'm going to go back to the shade Heaven and I'm going to add it to my under eye area, just back and forth all the way to the tear duct area underneath my lower lash line. And then back to mixing Elation with the white shade on the other palette to smoke things out even further and match what I did on top. Back with my Seahorse palette in the shade Big Belly here, I'm going to touch up the inner corner of my eye and make it meet with the shades underneath. I think this eye look is really pretty. To finish it up, I'm going to use my Glossier lip liner in the shade Muse in my waterline. I love it. This purple pastel in the waterline was exactly what this look needed. The last new product we're trying in today's video is the new OYS Beauty Mascara. It is called the Lash Confidence Mascara and it's got a curved, really nice and fluffy brush, which I'm very excited about. We'll see. I'm curling my lashes a little bit and then I'll go to town. Okay, so this is what the first layer of mascara looks like. And I mean layer as in I didn't go back to double dip, but I did go through every single strand of lash hair multiple times. Apparently I'm still going, hold on. So that is one coat right there. Alright, and after a couple of coats, here's what the mascara looks like. I did 2 coats on this side and 3 coats on this side because this side just needs a little bit more love, but I'm not mad at the result. I think the mascara looks really nice. I do not like one thing about it though, and it is that it stays wet for a very long time. So it's hard to go back and build upon it because since it's still wet, it doesn't build up as fast as I would like it to. I feel like mascaras that dry a little bit faster, you can build up volume on them a bit quicker. However, as you can see, the mascara looks pretty good, and I'll have to get back to you on whether or not it smudges on my face. So far so good, and the little tiny bits of mascara specks that I had around were very easy to get off. Lastly, I just need to put something on my lips, so I'm going to use my Rare Beauty lip liner in the shade Worthy to line my lips with. And in the center, I'm going to do my Natasha lip gloss from Natasha Denona. And so this right here is my finished look. My favorite thing, obviously, the eyes. I'm obsessed with the way the eyes look, and obviously it is all thanks to a combination of palettes. I love the shades of matte and shimmer that these new Odense palettes have, and I definitely find myself wanting to reach for these palettes all the time. Like I told you before, these are now available and I love them. The shimmers we didn't use today, but they are also incredible. However, Adept Cosmetics usually has better shimmers, and that is definitely not the exception with this palette. The shimmers in this palette are incredible. Is it worth the price tag? I'm not sure. It really depends on whether or not you see yourself getting a lot of use out of this one, because it is a pricey palette. But this is definitely a palette made for what I used today. It is made for pops of color. It is made for building up an eye look and grabbing shades, at least in my opinion. I don't know, somebody else might just use this one on its own, but I like to use it just for pops of color in the center of the eye look. And I think that the shimmer shades that this palette has in it are incredible, and you can use for countless looks. The bottom line is, if you like Adept Cosmetics glittery shades, I think you'll really like this palette. Keep in mind it is all lighter, more pastel shades, so it doesn't have a huge range of depth in it. So you guys kind of have to decide whether or not you would get a lot of use out of this one, because like I said, it is a pretty penny. So just make sure that if you go for it, you are going to use it a lot. If anyone's interested in my favorite and most recommended Adept Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, because I feel like I'm going to get that question, my favorite, most recommended palette from Adept is the Ninidrin palette, which I think is either restocked or it's going to be restocking soon. So this palette right here is definitely my most recommended from them, because it has a couple of matte shades that you can combine with a bunch of different colorful glittery shadows that I love. This serum from Merit looks really cool, but I'm honestly not sure if it's worth it. It is a serum product. I rarely talk about skincare on my channel because skincare needs to be thoroughly tested in order for me to recommend it. So I'll just keep on using it, and I'll get back to you on whether or not I like it or how much I like it. I don't think that the Merit Beauty bronzer is a must-have, but it is a nice to have. I do like the natural amount of bronziness that this one left on my face, and I like that it had a very nice neutral undertone, not too warm, not too cool toned. Make sure if you want to go for this one that you are someone who likes a glowy finish in things, because otherwise you'll be powdering it down, since it does have a very radiant finish to it. And then lastly, this OYS Beauty mascara I did really end up liking. I like the packaging. I love the brush. The brush really grips every single little hair on your lashes, and overall I do think it gave me a really nice lash look. I wish it was a bit of a drier formula, but I've told you this before, and this might be the case with this one. I prefer mascaras once I've had them for a while because they dry a little bit faster. So once I have this one for around a month, I'll get back to you on how it continues to wear on my lashes, because I feel like it's going to grow on me even more. So that's my first impression on the new products that I tried in today's video. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in any of the products I talked about today, please check out the list down in the description box with all of the links and the discount codes to everything I talked about today. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.